People have been calling them the world's best lipstick and the best matte lipstick ever made, etc., etc. So today, we are here to answer the question, are the McGrath Matte Trance Lipsticks worth the hype? We'll be doing wear tests to see how long lasting they are. We've got some comparison swatches, maybe we can find a dupe, and a little bit of a rant, just for good measure. Let's quickly touch on the shopping experience. Right, so I purchased 2 of the Matte Trance Lipsticks on the official McGrath website. I want to say it was about like 12 hours maybe after they launched, and there were so few shades available. So FYI, they sell out pretty quick. So pricing wise, you can get all 9 shades in a set. So they do some sets, right? You can get all 9 shades for $275 USD. If you're a Mad fan. You can get sets of 3, they're called trios, for $95 USD, and then you can also purchase singles at $38 USD. So that's what I did. I went on to purchase 2 singles, and then postage to Australia was $25 USD. It's steep, but it was FedEx trucked actually. And in total, these 2 lipsticks cost me $101 USD or 127 AUD. Ouch. And you know what? I expected it to be pricey. That's not even my primary beef. Now it seems to me, this is me stroking my imaginary mustache, it seems to me that the official McGrath website intentionally understocks so that everything is sold out essentially within a day, and then from that point onward, her products are exclusively available at Sephora US, which as far as I know, only ships to the UK and the US. I love Pat. And I love her work, and every single launch I have tried to purchase something, and I cannot buy the damn makeup. Take my monies. And I get it. I get that this is a strategy, and I get that Australia is a tiny market, but I would be lying to you if I said that it didn't irk me all the same. Wah, Australian can't buy her makeup, I know. This is my first world problem of today. I thought I would share it, rant over. Packaging and presentation. So when you receive your Matte Trance lipsticks, they will be in a gold sleeve full of gold sequins. I think this is brilliant. A+ branding. Although sequins are second only to glitter on the nuisance scale, I'm finding these deep in my sofa, stuck to the soles of my feet. They're absolutely everywhere, but I will keep them because sparkle. The bullets are lovely. I'm not sure if this is a black or is it a very dark navy, but it's got some gold details and a pretty lip detail at the front. I'm happy about this twist mechanism. I'm confident in this twist mechanism, and it's got a weighty feel to it. It feels like an expensive lipstick, as it should. One thing I will mention is that for some reason, I don't know why, I expected there to be a magnetic closure, but this one has a more standard click closure, which doesn't worry me at all. I just thought I'd mention it. Onto the shades. So I selected the shades Full Panic 5 and Obsessed 211. I heard in some reviews that there are differences in formula between the shades, so definitely watch as many reviews and read as many reviews as you can. I've been testing these for a solid week, and between these 2 shades at least, the formula seems to be pretty identical. Full Panic is, I would say, a medium to deep but vibrant fuchsia. So it sits a little bit more on the cooler spectrum. And these bullets were sharp to begin with when I received them, but like all lipsticks, they've become blunt. So in order to get a perfectly crisp line, I need to use either a lip liner or a lip brush for application. And I think one of the major claims with these lipsticks was insane pigmentation. And I have to 100% agree there. They are completely and utterly opaque in just one swipe. When it comes to the comparison swatches later in the video, you'll see that the Matte Trance makes some of my other lipsticks look downright sheer by comparison. Super impressive. I feel like sometimes when brands call a lipstick a matte lipstick, they're sometimes better described as satins in my experience, but I would say that both of these shades are proper mattes. They don't really throw any shine at all. Hopefully the camera is capturing that. They're very velvety. That said, they're not a liquid lipstick, right? So when I press my lips together, I can feel just a slight slip there. And if I were to blot right now, there you go. So they do transfer, they don't set entirely. Obsessed, with an exclamation point, is either an orange that leans red or a red that leans orange, depending on your skin tone. So my skin is some sort of mystical creature and it pulls all oranges towards the red spectrum. So this is more of a red with a warm undertone on my face, but FYI, it might translate differently on your face. I've heard a lot of claims that the lipsticks are super lightweight and very comfortable. And I would say this is partially true. They are absolutely lightweight. There have been so many times where I've completely forgotten that I'm wearing a lipstick until I'm like, why are my hands orange? I do feel like a slight dry sensation, kind of like a tightness. I wouldn't describe these as hydrating as the site does, but it's a matte lipstick. And I think it's pretty good going for that category of lipstick. So texturally, in terms of how they sit on the lips, I have a lot of vertical lip lines, right? That's just my DNA. I am a human. And it definitely doesn't exacerbate the vertical lip lines, but it does nothing to blur them. They're still there for everyone to see. And because my lips are always chapped and peely, I have opinion on that too. So today I would say my lips are moderately chapped. It's been better and it's been worse. I think that any matte lipstick is going to draw attention to peeling lips, and these are no different. I'm going to wear this for now for a few hours, eat a bit, drink a bit, go about my usual day. It is currently, I'm running a bit late, it is currently 4:55. How do I get rid of this notification? I updated the settings, go away. It's been a bit of a late one, but I will continue to go about my day and I will report back to tell you and to show you how this is wearing. In the meantime, let us do some comparison swatches with other brands so we can check for dupes, both in color and or formula. Okay, so Pat McGrath Obsessed, exclamation mark. This is an orangey red, completely opaque and definitely matte. I then swatched the MAC Lip Mix in orange so that you can see how Obsessed actually does lean rather red by comparison. Then MAC Lady Danger. This is a tiny bit more vibrant than Obsessed and it's a tiny bit more orange as well. I feel like this formula is also less matte. Charlotte Tilbury Love Bite. This is an example of a cooler, more blue tone red compared to Obsessed. And Love Bite also has a glossy finish. Next is the Rimmel, the only one matte in Take the Stage. I'm not sure if you can see this, but it has a little bit more of a magenta purpled undertone and the formula sets more. Everything I'm saying is a comparison to the matte trends in Obsessed, FYI. Then we have Urban Decay 714. This again has a cooler undertone, more blue undertones, and the formula is much, much stiffer than the Pat McGrath. This is a messy swatch, but here is the Bourjois Rouge Edition Matte in 3. In general, it's a lot sheerer, as you can see, and a little more orange toned. By Terry Click Stick in 15, more orange, not as opaque, and not as matte. The Click Stick formula just has a slight sheen. LA Splash, is it Hypnotic? I don't really know how to pronounce that. I really don't like the LA Splash liquid lip colors. They are, I think, the most drying on the market, just in my opinion. But color-wise, this shade is just a touch more red than the Pat McGrath. Finally, Givenchy Le Rouge in 306. I'd say this is actually a pretty similar color to the Pat McGrath, but it has a shiny finish. Overall, I would say the closest dupe, if we consider both the color and the formula, is MAC Lady Danger, as long as you're okay with a slightly more vibrant, slightly more orange alternative. Let's move on to Full Panic.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places.
You know what? That was probably my fault. User error, I think I had the lipstick wound up too high. Full Panic is a medium vibrant fuchsia, so it leans a little bit on the cooler side. Uber matte, just like the previous shade that we swatched, Obsessed. Next is the Charlotte Tilbury Matte Revolution in the Queen. In general, matte revolutions they're a little bit more slippy and not quite as opaque as the Pat McGrath formula. And color-wise, the Queen has a little bit more of a muted mauve quality compared to Full Panic. But you know, we're getting nitpicky, they're all pretty close. Then the Bite Lip Cashmere is Crianza. I always feel like I'm pronouncing that wrong. Equally matte, but it's slightly deeper and a touch less vibrant than Full Panic. Marc Jacobs So Sophia. This is an example of a warmer pink, and I think it better illustrates the cooler tones in Full Panic. Rimmel, the only one in Call the Shots. This is another warm pink. I really love it, but not a dupe. Next is the Burberry Lip Velvet in Magenta. You know what? I would say this one is relatively close, but the Burberry is just a hair more vibrant. And both the Matte Trance and the Burberry formula are what I would classify as comfortable mattes. Just for giggles, and I thought maybe someone might ask, here is NARS Sheer, such a classic. This NARS Sheer formula is much stiffer than the Pat McGrath, and obviously, as we can all see, it has more of that white pigment in it and a stronger bluer tone. That was fun. Let's keep going. The NARS Velvet Lip Glide in Danceteria. Straight away you can see that this one is less opaque. It's a little cooler in tone. The By Terry Click Stick in 7. Again, this formula is not 100% matte. It kind of leans a bit on satin. This is another warmer pink, so not a dupe. Now this one is probably the closest alternative I could find. The Kat Von D Bachelorette lipstick. So much so that I actually decided to swatch it directly next to Full Panic, and yeah. I mean, I'd say that they're pretty darn close. Perhaps Bachelorette is like a tiny bit more red, but once they're on the lips, it's much of muchness, really. Lucky last, Maybelline Vivid Matte Liquid Lipstick in Fuchsia Ecstasy. This is lighter, not as opaque, more vibrant, not a dupe. Overall, the closest dupe is the Kat Von D Bachelorette. That was great, that was really fun. Now that the obsessive part of my brain has been satisfied, let us resume the video. Thank you for humouring me. Hi everyone, I'm back. It is currently 10:20 p.m, so what's that? Almost 5.5 hours since I checked in with you last. And at this stage, I'm pretty impressed with how it's going. So I had a salad for dinner, and the salad had dressing on it. So I've noticed that the lipstick has sort of worn off towards the innermost portion of my mouth. But otherwise, it's faded pretty evenly. It's perhaps not as vibrant as it was, but it hasn't blared or gone patchy or anything like that. So to be honest, that's as good as I can expect a matte lipstick to wear. I'm actually just going to reapply a little bit at this stage. They also reapply relatively well, so good to know. Let's get on to the nitty gritty. The pros and cons of the Pat McGrath Matte Trance Lipstick. So some pros. I'm really impressed with their opacity. I was blown away on that front. They also wear nicely. I expect to have to touch up a lipstick at about the 5-hour mark after, eating and drinking. They are uber lightweight. I often forget that I'm wearing them at all. Now for some cons. They do feel a touch dry. At this stage, I'm really, looking to apply some lip balm, although I do have very dry lips. Finally, they're super pricey. And even if you can stomach the price tag, they're really hard to get your hands on. Golden question, Pat McGrath Matte Trance Lipsticks. Worth the hype? I had really high hopes for these lipsticks, and actually, they've met my expectations. Surprise! The icon, Pat McGrath, created an awesome formula. Nobody's surprised. In my eyes, they are 100% worth the hype though, and among one of my favorite matte lipstick formulas. I would totally go out and buy all the rest of the shades, except, oh wait, I can't. I hope you found the review and swatches to be helpful. I have a funny feeling that this formula is going to stick around because it's that good. So fingers crossed, she releases some more shades. If you have any other suggestions for really hyped products that you'd like reviewed, then let me know in the comment section below. Come say hello to me on Instagram because I'd love to chat to you there, and I will speak to you all very soon. Bye.